Glory to Jesus Christ. Today I would like to talk to you about two petitions from the Litany of Peace. I'm adding them together because, in a way, they go together. First, we pray for our government and for all in the service of our country. It is a beautiful petition because we can pray for a couple of things within it. First, we pray for the government that is now. For the past few Sundays before the election, as we as a community prayed beautiful prayer, which is what we are praying for in the litany. We prayed that God sends Holy Spirit to our nation's leaders so they uphold rights to life, liberty, and true happiness. This is what we pray for during every single liturgy, but much shorter. We could also ask in this petition that may God increase Christian vocations that enter the government jobs. Each Christian has their own vocation, so why not to ask God that He gives strength to those who enter that kind of job so they are guided by their faith. We also pray for all in the service of our country. We ought to pray for all those who have dedicated their whole life to protecting us and this beautiful country. I know that we have a few veterans in our parish, and please know that during this petition, I am thinking of each one of you. I know a very good friend of mine who just retired as a police officer. And what touched me the most is that when he was talking a little bit about his job, he said that every day he would remind himself, I am a Christian. And that is how I will approach people. And he said that he felt protected every single time he went out. I think God protected him because of that decision. So here, too, we should pray for holy vocations that choose to protect their country. Praying for government and for those who serve our country is nothing new. St. Paul, in his letter to young Timothy, writes this: First of all, then, I urge that supplications, prayers, intercessions, and thanksgivings be made for all men, for kings and all who are in high positions, that we may lead a quiet and peaceable life, godly and respectful in every way. St. Paul gives us why we pray for what we pray for, so we may lead a quiet and peaceable, godly and respectful life. Who wouldn't want that? If we don't pray for it, then how can this petition be lifted up? St. Paul also desires that in every place the men should pray, lifting holy hands without anger or quarreling. So we pray for the city, for every city, community, and for the faithful living in them. Again, we see the same movement from inward to outward. We pray that our city is peaceful and that it is in good hands so it can grow and be prosperous to those who are living in it. That it helps to bless, transform, and feel responsible for people within it and for its surroundings. Then we pray for other cities around us. We pray for communities that are in need of our prayers and God's abundant mercy. And we pray for all who live around us. May they have peace within their heart and walk the way of righteousness. In the writings of St. John Chrysostom, he writes of his love for the city of Antioch. Early in the year 387, rampaging mobs of Antiochians reacted to the heavy tax imposed by the Emperor Theodosius by smashing statues of the emperor. In punishment, Emperor Theodosius deprived the city of all its privileges and threatened to destroy it to the ground. Many notable citizens were killed, estates were confiscated, fear and terror spread everywhere. Some who were in a position to do so fled, but the majority were dragged off to prison, tortured, and put to death. Flavian, the bishop of the city, an old man and in ill health, decided to set off for Constantinople, despite the hard winter, and attempt to calm the emperor's anger. The priest John, as he then was, remained in Antioch, and the people turned to him. The marketplace was empty, and the church was full, the saint relates. The terrified multitude was consoled by its Holy Father, St. John Chrysostom. When subsequently, a court was set up by the emperor's diplomats to try those responsible for the rampage. Many hermits left their huts and caves and converged from all around, like angels who had descended from heaven. The city then looked like heaven, because those holy men were to be seen everywhere, and by their very appearance gave solace to those who were suffering. When finally it was learned that Bishop Flavian's mission has been successful and the emperor had pardoned the people, St. John celebrated the salvation of the city together with the bishop and the faithful. And they prayed, "Blessed be God who has granted us to celebrate today this holy feast with great joy and gladness. Let us thank God who loves mankind, and let us wonder at his power, his love for man, the wisdom and care that he has shown to the city." That is how the saints loved and continue to love the city and the place that had been entrusted to their care, and every city and countryside. So let us try to imitate them also, especially during Divine Liturgy, so our city, our governors are protected by the prayer. Glory to Jesus Christ.
Ave